Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Vault. Jersey Joe Archino back here, and I think one of the things that we were expecting the most was what just happened today. Ronaldo taking home the UEFA Best Player in Europe award, and obviously he's the only player who has basically won the award twice other than Messi, and which again, surprise, surprise, but it really was pretty simple to decide who won this and who was worthy of this one. Ronaldo, obviously, what he did at winning whole Euro 2016 with Portugal, and then winning the Champions League with Real Madrid. And Gareth Bale and Antoine Griezmann obviously did a lot of great things in their own right. I think when you look at it from a leadership standpoint, one of the reasons why Bale and Ronaldo you could make such an easy case for them to be here in this running for the three of them is because the two of them were obviously undoubtedly the best leaders in Euro 2016. We look at England, and obviously England received so much criticism for their performance and the way that they lost to Iceland, and I think a lot of it for England, or a lot of their failure, was tied to the lack of leadership that they showed. England had a ton of talent on that team, but they had no identifiable leadership. Nobody who would take the helm and be that physical and emotional and vocal leader. I don't think you ever questioned that when it came to Ronaldo, and they really came to the forefront when he was injured and couldn't even go much for that whole final match against France, basically, and just through his pure emotion and his just leadership and everything else that he has shown, he was able to get the job done and rally his team to win. And look, it wasn't the most exciting final in the world. Clearly, without Ronaldo there, Portugal had to kind of sit back and kind of play not the most exciting style, but it won them the trophy, and Ronaldo obviously played a big part in that run that they had to win it. But it certainly wasn't the most pretty way to do it for Portugal, but that's beside the point. They got it done, and Ronaldo was tremendous. And to me, what makes the easiest, though, is what Ronaldo did at the Champions League level. And although in the final, I don't think he really was the most visibly present player. Of course, he hit the winning penalty kick to kind of seal the deal. But largely in the final, I just didn't think it was one of his strongest matches. I thought Atletico Madrid did a really good job defending him and isolating him from being a big factor in that match. And again, he kind of got all the glory because of when he took the winning penalty kick, but aside from that, I just didn't think it was his strongest match. But to me, he just displayed so many moments during Real Madrid's Champions League run where it was just so easy to determine that this was going to be the winner of this reward. And I think for me, the biggest moment was against Wolfsburg. April 6, 2016, we looked at Real Madrid. They lose 2-0 to Wolfsburg. And I think the thing that made this the most surprising was not just that they lost 2-0 to Wolfsburg, but they beat Barcelona 2-1 at the Camp Nou in that Clásico Part 2 that season, and then they followed up that Tuesday and they lose to Wolfsburg. So I think that kind of threw us all for a little bit of a shocker. That's kind of when Real Madrid really started to turn their season around. And of course, you remember Zinedine Zidane kind of came into the forefront, and he had some winning. He had a couple moments where it wasn't pretty, but then they beat Barcelona, who looked like an unstoppable machine. Barcelona came into that match with their incredible 38-39 match unbeaten streak, and then they lose at home to Real Madrid, who just didn't have their identity figured out to that point, but they certainly figured it out in that match. But then they followed it up with that loss, and I think we all kind of looked at it and were so puzzled by it. Then they kind of get their feet back on track when they beat Eibar 4-0 in La Liga. And then on April 12th, to me, was the moment where Ronaldo won this award. And that's when Real Madrid defeated Wolfsburg 3-0 behind Ronaldo's hat-trick. And that, to me, was just pure example and testament to Ronaldo's greatness. His just pure dominance, and just, I mean, that was sometimes when you're a star like that, you just have to push everybody out of the way and just say, get out of the way and let me go to work. Sometimes we don't like that, sometimes we do like it, and this was certainly one of those situations where that had to happen. Ronaldo just kind of had to say, this is going to be one of my moments, get out of my way, and I'm going to take care of everything, and he undoubtedly did that there. I mean, I always kind of use the NBA comparisons to kind of try to put it all into perspective for an American audience. And to me, LeBron is always the perfect example to compare Messi with. And Kobe is always kind of the perfect example to compare Ronaldo with. They are cutthroat assassins who are just, sometimes you yell at them because maybe they're not getting their teammates as involved, but when it comes down to it at the club level, Ronaldo is that cutthroat assassin, just like Kobe is, and many times in those biggest moments, he delivered these signature performances, and that 3-0 victory over Wolfsburg when Real Madrid's back was truly up against the wall, that to me is what sealed the deal for him to win this award. And obviously, I think Griezmann is the other one where a lot of people kind of asked if you had to make an argument for one of the other two, how would you try to defend it? I have an easier time with Bale than I do with Griezmann. And Griezmann, of course, his team reached the final in the Champions League and reached the final in Euro 2016. And I still can't come up with that great reason. To me, Bale had the club in Wales, who was the little nation, who had never really been expected to do much, and they massively overachieved and did some great things. I mean, Wales football took a tremendous leap forward. He was one of the best leaders in Euro 2016, and Griezmann largely just wasn't good enough when it mattered, when it came down to it for France in the back end against Germany and then against Portugal. He just wasn't good enough. And then I think when you look at Bale, he again had so many moments in the Champions League. It was definitely his best season for Real Madrid by far. I thought the season before that, where Carlo Ancelotti was there, he kind of struggled to fit in. Him and Ronaldo and Benzema all kind of were trying to play the same way, and it just wasn't working together. But he meshed much better this past season, and against Manchester City and many other times in the Champions League, I thought he played very well. So to me, I probably would have voted Ronaldo, Bale, and then Griezmann, but it was very easy. Ronaldo was the landlocked to win this award, and I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think, to me, the moment he won it was, again, April 12th, 2016, Real Madrid 3-0 against Wolfsburg, but undoubtedly we will see many new faces this Champions League season. The draw is up. I did another segment on that, and that'll be up on this same channel, so if you want to see that, just go back a video and it'll be right there. But until the next time, Jersey Joe Archino here at the Sports Vault. You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Archino and on Instagram, Jersey_Joe_Archino, and I'll catch everybody in the next episode.